of the most inspirational women, MC, host, speaker, motivational writer, and also a human being. So please welcome Vaibhavi Joshi, who will be continuing with the panel discussion about the mental healthness and also the discussion about Zindagi Dobaara, a quick panel discussion with casting crew and the team. Please.
Thank you so much, Avinash. A very good evening to everyone. First of all, we're going to run the heart of this program today. I know it's Diwali celebration, and very lately I have been hosting number of Diwali celebrations, but today's one is very special. The reason why it's special because this is definitely going to add some meaningful discussion, some value to our community. I would like to first invite Pankaj Upadhyay. At the same time, I would like to request Harinder ji to come on stage as well. Can I also request Manbir Singh Kohli? And if Suman ji is here, I would like to request her to be here as well. Can I request Harinder ji at the back, if I can have you here? And once again, I know kids might be here and there, but I would like to request everyone to remain seated at the back because this is going to be a very important and meaningful discussion that we're going to have right now. So can I once again request everyone at the back, please remain seated because we're going to have a very experienced and talented people here. So first, while Harinder ji is making her way here, let me tell you one thing. Pankaj has done an amazing, incredible job. Is that not right? Can we have a huge round of applause for Pankaj? And Pankaj, this shouting is absolutely for you and you deserve that. Now, before we move on, I would like to quickly ask you one thing. Harinder ji, can we please have you here as well? Because, and again, of course we have a big shout out for Pankaj and Euphony films, but at the same time, can we have a huge round of applause for Harinder Kaur from Harman Foundation and the entire team? Woohoo! I need an even bigger shout out for her.
Thank you.
I know this is going to be real quick, but first I would like to ask Pankaj that I know in our society, female has always been considered as very vulnerable, and mental health for women is always a very good and open topic. But somehow that has not been the case for men. Men's mental health. Did anybody even hear this men's mental health a few decades ago? Probably not. So Pankaj, tell me one thing. What first of all made you this film on men's mental health? Because let me tell you, before you even answer, earlier to this Zindagi Dobaara, Pankaj has also contributed through, because we all know that he is an amazing published poet, author, award-winning filmmaker, and what not, right? We all know about this wonderful person, and he has contributed along with the NSW police force as well about anti-dowry, domestic violence. He has always been touching such sensitive topics. So Pankaj, tell me one thing, what really inspired you to make a film on men's mental health whereas people don't even feel like talking about it?
It's all Harinder ji's doing. So I have to, very respectfully pass on the baton to my most beloved and most respected Harinder ji first to speak few words. And she's the same, as my inspiration. Harinder ji, please, first you.
Thank you so much, Pankaj, and thank you, the panel. And the most important thing is that it's our our life, isn't it? We are talking about Zindagi, and Zindagi is our own life. So when we are reflecting, our past years, definitely we have been in that state of mind where things are not going well, things are not right the way we wish to, but the choices we have to choose from are important. So with that concept that life is not always, life is blessing, life is definitely blessing, as well as we are alive and we are breathing. There is a purpose of hope, and that hope concept is here. We have shown today that people who are not doing that well, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Keep on trying. That is the concept we wanted to bring it.
Absolutely true. And now we would like to, we all know this Hindi radio, Kehte Sunte. If you are not familiar, then I must say you are not an Indian. This guy here, Manbir Singh Kohli, being a veteran radio producer and community broadcaster for over 20 years. All I can say is, wow, Manbir ji. Can we have a huge round of applause for Manbir ji? And he really champions the idea of inclusivity and integration, for which he was even awarded the Interfaith and Communal Harmony Award by the Indian Christian Society of Australia. At the same time, also in the NSW Parliament in 2019. It's a big honor. Can we have a huge round of applause for that? So, Manbir ji, I would like to ask one thing. We all have seen your wonderful performance, and until now we have been hearing your soulful voice. What really made you associate with this Harman Foundation, that too on a topic men's mental health?
Thank you, Harinder ji, and of course Pankaj, and thank you everybody for being so patient. My association with Harman goes at the time that Harman was thought of. When the Harman Foundation was being thought of. So I have been associated with that dream, with that vision that Harinder ji and Maninder had at a very tough time in their life. But they still thought at that time that we need to give to the community. So my association with the Harman Foundation goes back a long way. But coming back to men's mental health, every day 9 Australians take their life. Every day, 9 people commit suicide, and out of that, 7 are men. If these were the road statistics of fatalities on roads, we would have massive campaigns. So this is twice the number of people that die on roads in Australia every day. And it's a tragedy that it's actually a very simple thing of opening up. So as men, we do need to open up. I remember when I was a kid, my mom would say, "Agar rota tha, mard ban." Okay? So wo mard banne ke chakkar mein, it became hard to say that I'm suffering or something is hurting me. And that carries on when you become a father, when you become a husband, because the role of society is that we need to be strong. We need to be the face of a family. So if there's something wrong, you just got to soldier on. And I think I'm glad that things are changing, and the solutions are simple. The solutions are, as one of my friends says, "Karoge gal, niklega hal." Yeah, ki baat karoge to hal niklega. And I think that is a very simple but very effective solution to men's mental health. And it's not easy, but it sounds very simple.
Thank you so much. इसके लिए जोरदार तालियां होनी चाहिए. That's a wonderful thought. Our next panel member is Suman Mathur. She is someone that I really adore a lot. Before even I say anything, can we have a huge round of applause for Suman Mathur ji? Because we all know this lady here. And apart from being a retired teacher of English and job seeking skills to adult migrants, she has spent years and years of supporting both highly educated migrants and, this is very important, not just the migrants but traumatized refugees as well. What a wonderful job she is doing. And apart from that, in retirement, through her volunteer work with various agencies, she has witnessed a range of mental health issues prevailing within our community. And pretty much this is something I would like to really hear from you, Sumanji, that because you are very experienced, especially on such sensitive topics, what really made you to come along with Harman Foundation on a very kind of a taboo? Is that not true? Like people really don't want to talk about men's mental health. What do you have to say on that?
Well, if we really look around, there are lots and lots of cases other than the ones that were highlighted in the movie. It's a short film, so you have to restrict yourself to certain cases. But looking around in my own neighborhood, I see young boys meeting with an accident, becoming paraplegics, and their girlfriends have deserted them. So they are really traumatized. There seems to be no end to their suffering. It's mental health at its abyss. So there are those kind of people. And then I look at other cases of long COVID, and those people have retreated so much into themselves that they just don't want to be interacting with the community anymore. So if you just look around, you can see yourself, people who are suffering from disabilities, long-term sicknesses like cancer, and their entire families are suffering, and often there are men there as well. So all these things have made me very curious and sensitized to the issue of men's mental health. And this is what made me come on board. But apart from men's health issues, just talking about Pankaj, his work in the area of social films is what attracted me to this platform as well. So I was part of the Dowry films that were produced by New South Wales Police, and then I was part of Zindagi, the prequel to this one, and that was about women's mental health, and even that was on a very narrow canvas. There's much more happening in the domain of women's mental health than the one captured in the movie. And it's the same with men's mental health. This movie doesn't capture it all. There's a lot going on. And just another case is of arranged marriages within our community. So the girl could be from here, and a boy has been imported from overseas, and they come here. And it's not just Indian community, by the way. It happens in other communities. So the boy has been imported from another country, and he comes here, he can't find his way around, he's lost. Often it's a case of language and cultural barriers, and the family that he's coming to make fun of him, even though he was a good professional, having a very good life in his own country. So all that takes a mental toll on him, and he suffers. And it's really happening a lot. So we just need to be there to support people. Support in whatever way you can. So just check on your friends, your network, and do that regularly, not just once, periodically. That's what I would say. And I know people are dying for lunch, or for dinner, sorry, coming from work, so I won't take up too much of your time. But thanks very much to Harman Foundation for giving me the opportunity to be a part of the film, and to Pankaj Upadhyaya of Euphony Films.
Beautifully said, Sumanji. Thank you so very much. And of course, we have heard from this very experienced panelist here, but I really would like to hear from our wonderful audience, because you have been patiently and sincerely watching this much needed topic. So if I can grab, I have got Durgaji here. If I can ask you one question, that why still people don't really prefer talking about this very sensitive topic on men's mental health. What do you have to say on that?
I'd like to start by congratulating Harinder Maninder, and also Uncut, and the person who wrote the script and story, Mathur. Congratulations to the entire cast and crew. What a pleasure it has been to be here today and to watch this amazing production. I had no idea that we had such talented actors right here in Western Sydney amongst us, and an amazing company that has produced so many great social films. In relation to your question, I think our culture deals with something we call hegemonic masculinity. Basically, this idea that men have to be patriarchs in our homes and our communities. They are emotionless, they are raised to not cry, not to speak of their hurts and their pains, and to hold up the family and walk it through their entire life over their shoulders. And I think it's important to acknowledge, just like we work with physical health in exercise and good eating, and sometimes we get the flu or we get sick and we need to go to the doctor and we need to go to the physio, we also understand that anxiety and depression can affect all of us at some point in our lives, and that mental health is also important, and that we should encourage each other to have a mental health checkup, that we have self-care, and days where things aren't going well, that we support each other to speak to a counsellor or then seek support from a GP and gain the medication, and take that stigma away from mental health being something we should be ashamed of. Dr. Neve and I were sitting on the front row and we were giggling and talking throughout the whole thing because we thought how fantastic this is. And thank you so much to the Harman Foundation for bringing this movie forward and bringing light into men's mental health. No one could have done it as well as the Harman Foundation and Pankaj coming together to do this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was beautifully said. And now that we have heard from a woman, at the same time, it's absolutely honor and privilege that we have got a baton Councillor Mr. Livingston here. And so, being a man, let me ask him. We all have been seeing that how important this is, that a man should really open up, they should really talk about it. Do you think that this is that changing time where men should come in the front and they should really open up about their feelings?
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone, and outset, I would like to congratulate Deepa behind this wonderful picture. And it really should go to everybody's heart and mind. Believe it, men take a lot. I was just talking to my wife. I'm celebrating 25 years of social work. I did my social work, master's of social work with medical and psychiatric social work. And I find it very difficult, men going to learn depression. I'm dealing with 2 cases of suicide now. Just a bit of story I would like to take you, because this is an occasion. Students, they come here, they struggle with families, a young family. Wife is 32 years old, daughter is 7 years. This guy, he just got an expression of interest in white, and they were about to launch an application, and they found it, the IEL score lapsed only 1 day. And then he burned himself on a national level, and he passed away. Trust me, men take it a lot. Please, if you need a support, do reach out to all professionals in the area. Talk about it, and you will find a solace. Thank you very much.
So much, and congratulations on doing a wonderful job. It's a long years that you have been doing this community work, and we truly appreciate that. So thank you very much for that. And I have also heard that we have got another expert here. If I can ask important because now we are going to hear from the expert. So if I can request people at the back to please remain seated. And so first, if you can say in a few words what exactly you do, and I want everyone to know as well.
Good evening, you can call me Fegora. My full name is Fegora Sonlinja. And I've been practicing as a psychologist, clinical, in Blacktown for over 31 years.
Thank you so much. And so now so that we know that you are obviously a psychologist, so have you been noticing that obviously women's mental health is always openly discussed, people do talk a lot about it, but when it comes to men's mental health, have you been noticing that people are still taking a step back and not coming forward, and why is that?
It is difficult for men to open up that they have depression because it is the expectation that men are supposed to be the head of the family, the stronger parent. The other thing for especially is there is stigma. Women are stigmatized, but men are more stigmatized. There was a study with Black Dog, I don't know if you're familiar with Black Dog Institute, is that men are not supposed to be depressed because there is no such thing as depression, especially people coming from the cult group. I come from the Filipino-Japanese community, and with the Japanese side of community, it is about a failure. You cannot present to your children, you cannot present to your clan that you are a failure. It is not accepted as a disease, as a disorder, but rather a failure. So you fail, you will be a disgrace to your parents. You are disrespecting your parents, accepting that weakness. So reaching out to men this is very good. Community education. The media is giving that information. Congratulations, Harinder. Congratulations, Harman Foundation. This is the best way to show up and to educate our community, especially us, the migrant community. Thank you. Sorry, I'll be.
Thank you so much for that. No, that was really a much needed thing. So once again, let's have a huge round of applause for this wonderful attempt.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, once again a huge applause. So before that, I would like to acknowledge our councillor Maninder Singh ji. Thank you very much from Blacktown City Council. Please give a big applause. And also Durga Abel, senior criminal lawyer and social activist. Please stand up. It's a pleasure, that you people are here and, have come so far to support. Thank you very much for your kind presence.
Thank you so much. And last but not least, can I please request Indranil ji to come here? And at the same time, I would request all the cast and crew to be please present here. And before I say everyone's name, can I please request Indranil ji to come here? Thank you so much for coming, because we just cannot miss a very experienced person here standing right next to me, and I would really like to hear in few words, why do you think this men's mental health should be really a much needed and much talked topic in today's era?
Thank you so much for inviting me to this event. Now, men's mental health is very important. It's important because in our Indian community there is a taboo about that. Second thing is that I myself have suffered through mental health, and at the moment I'm also the multicultural ambassador for Mental Health Foundation, and also at the same time I think we got the second generation growing up in Australia, and everybody should connect with their roots, with their future generations. Also at the same time, as a woman, as a man, they should all support each other. It's not that women only have mental health men do too. Men suffer very silently, which has not been talked about, and I'm so happy that Pankaj and Harman Foundation is talking about it, and it is giving a way to get this conversation started. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was beautifully said. To hear, always a pleasure to hear from the most experienced person. Now, before we quickly move on, and I would invite all the cast and crew of, I will be speaking the name at the same time. I would appreciate if Harinder ji and Councillor Maninder ji please be present here. And we should not forget this beautiful event and beautiful evening would have been possible if we don't have our amazing supporting sponsors. So I would like to thank once again PIYC Partner in Your Care, Australia's Forever ATEX, Healing Hands Complete Care, Signature Training College. They are our wonderful, wonderful sponsors. So can we have a huge round of applause for our sponsors? And at the same time, being a media, we cannot forget our media and the power of our media. So we would like to acknowledge Neena Padwar from Indian Down Under, Manju Mittal, Indian Down Under and Screen Australia, Rachna Bhatnagar, Screen Australia, Rekha Rajwanshi from Ilasa, Manbir Singh Kohli from Radio Kehte Sunte, Harry Singh from Sanjeev Channel, Soni Singh from The Unmute, Harmohan Waliaji from Desi Australia. Give a big round of applause for this gentleman for his noble work that he does. Harpreet Singh from Punjab Times, Jyotna Sharma from Crescendo, and our lovely, wonderful gentleman, Pankaj Upadhyay from Euphony Films. Now, can I please request Mr. Livingston to be here as well and do the honor?